Madam President.
Senator from Arizona.
Madam President, I join my colleagues to discuss the importance of tackling the issues on the border and with our immigration system. I think what folks have heard so far is that Republicans and Democrats can find a lot of common ground, even on this topic. And I'm here today because securing our border and fixing our broken immigration system is a priority for me and for the state of Arizona. And the state of Arizona bears the brunt of Washington's failure on this issue. And this is a national security issue. For decades now, politicians have tried and failed to fix our border and fix our immigration system. We see crisis after crisis under administrations of both parties. And we see attempts by Congress to pass reforms fizzle out over and over and over again. Because on this issue, more than any other, folks often retreat to partisan corners rather than finding common ground that we know exists. It's what led to the federal government to fail border states like Arizona for decades when it comes to border security. And it has led to a broken immigration system that doesn't work for families. It doesn't work for dreamers. It doesn't work for businesses, small and large. And it doesn't work for our country. In Arizona, these aren't abstract issues. These aren't theoretical questions to debate over. These are real problems, and Arizonans deserve real solutions. Our state is left to deal with crisis after crisis at the border, including the one we're facing right now, where record numbers of border crossings are straining law enforcement, and it's straining humanitarian organizations. And this is unsustainable. And a change to Title 42, to the Title 42 authority now is only going to make these challenges worse. So that's why we're here today, because it's past time for Congress to work together to reform the broken immigration system and plan better to prevent this continued humanitarian crisis. Over the past couple weeks, including today, I've been speaking with Arizona officials on the border about the situation on the ground. That includes Border Patrol, who are seeing their staff stretched even further. That includes cities and counties who are having their emergency services strained. And that includes humanitarian and nonprofit organizations who are trying to increase their capacity because they're being stretched so thin. And they're expecting to be stretched even further just to help people. So I've been pushing the Department of Homeland Security as they work to mobilize as much staffing and resources and coordination as they can ahead of a change in the Title 42 authority. And there's a lot left to do, and I'll keep working with them towards a secure, humane, and orderly process at the border. But ultimately, Congress needs to step up too. We have to do our jobs, because it's not just Arizona that sees the impacts of Washington's collective, repeated failures to tackle this issue. There are hundreds of thousands of dreamers across the country who are as just American as my own two kids or my grandkid, and they still do not have a pathway to citizenship. They watch every court case, every legislative effort to understand how it will impact their lives. That's so they can determine if they can continue living, studying, and working in the only country that they've ever known. Planning their lives, their careers, their goals based on the outcome of a court hearing or what we do in this room or fail to do, that's just wrong. They deserve a pathway to citizenship. I know it's a priority for many who I've spoken to here over the last 2 years. It's time we do this. Furthermore, our immigration system just doesn't work for our economy. Across the country, there are businesses that can't get the workforce they need, or that face huge backlogs in the immigration system. And a lot of families face similar backlogs too. These are folks who are following the rules laid out by our laws, but still run into a wall of bureaucracy. It's leading to labor shortages that squeeze supply chains and raise prices. So let's fix it. And let's take action to better secure the border. That includes putting up physical barriers where they make sense, just like I've been able to do in places like the Morelos Dam in Yuma, where I've pushed to finish the construction. But also hiring more Border Patrol personnel, increasing their pay, and deploying more of the right technology. Here's the thing. When you're willing to sit down and really work together, you find that there is a lot of common ground on this issue. So that's my message to my colleagues today. Come to the table and let's get this done. Let's stop just kicking the can down the road. Let's do the tough work that we were sent here to do and get something done to secure the border and fix our broken immigration system. Thank you, and Madam President, I yield the floor.